I guess I'm really grateful to the internet. What can I say? That I get to meet people all over the world. And really, I have such a love-hate relationship with Facebook, but I love it in many, many ways. Anyway, enough about me. My name is Dr. Tovah Goldfine. This is TMS Roundtable. And I have invited back Fred Amir, who I'm going to introduce in a minute. And because you are just hot wire, you're just alive. And I really enjoy our conversation. And we're not always agreeing. And that's what makes this roundtable so alive, that we get to really talk about a lot of things. But the most important thing that you and I agree on 1,000% is that the body has the solution before the problem. The body was made to heal over and over again. And it's a relationship between the mind and the body. And you discovered that through your own really unbelievable journey. And I am very excited, Fred Amir, to have you return, talk about how you also healed autoimmune, which was not, your chronic pain was big, but the autoimmune really grabbed me. And you sent me your book. It got here 6 months later, but I got your book. It's sitting right here. It's right here. One of Fred's books. I don't have the Vanquish anxiety yet, but anyway. So listen, I hope the listeners will enjoy and maybe ask questions. This is our roundtable. This is for you. Enough about me and Fred. This is for you. Come and talk to us. Fred, I'm so happy to have you in my studio. So please talk about a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what you went through, what is story, and how we can all recover at whatever pace it takes. Recovery is possible. Shalom.
It's certainly, hello. Well, it's wonderful to be here again, and I'm really excited to share with your audience today some very powerful strategies that are simple, fun, and very effective. In fact, let's start with one right now.
Okay.
Go ahead, you or the audience, and please raise your hands high, really high. Look up, smile wide, very wide. Now hold that, and I want you to feel sad and depressed. No, you change your mouth. You got to smile. You got to smile. See, it's hard to do that when you have your head high, your body like this, right? Now, I want you to put your hands down, droop your shoulders, put your head down, and make a prune face, frown, and be happy, but don't change anything. It's really hard when your body's like that, right?
Very.
One more time, raise
Very
your
hard.
hands high, head high, big smile, move your head, full of joy. Wonderful, wonderful.
Fred, you're a frustrated cheerleader.
I know. What we just did, we did mind over body, which I talk about in rapid recovery from back and neck pain. We always talk about mind and body, what happens in the mind affects the body. But remember, your body can affect your mind, the way you feel. I tell you, if you do this on a regular basis, you're going to see a huge difference in how you feel and your symptoms. Absolutely. Now, there is science behind this. Dr. Amy Cuddy of Harvard Business School noticed that students that do better have a certain pose. Students that are timid and look like this, they don't do that well. They're not confident. They don't participate. Students that are so big, are like this, they really pay attention. They really do well. So she decided to do a study where they take blood samples before and after. You do what she calls power pose. Power pose is hands like this, you feel strong. And found that when they do that, the cortisol level goes down. So stress is starting to go down. The testosterone confidence levels go up. And she noticed that if you do this before a speech, before talking to somebody about something important, before a stressful situation, you will actually do better simply by changing the way your body poses.
Yeah.
They did a study.
Body language.
Amazing. In fact,
what you're saying something deeper about people that are, anxious or maybe depressed, which that word is, I don't use that, like sad, lonely, feeling uncomfortable, feeling high sensations. Get up, shave, put some makeup on, start your day, like even like it's like fold into the resistance. Part of your body's resisting. No, I'm tired. But kind of go into the resistance by not fighting your body, but meeting your feelings, meeting your sadness, meeting your and go. Tell me what you were saying. I'm trying to say, like, go past it. Like, you don't want to do it, but sometimes you have to push yourself a little bit. It's not easy to do that, Stan. It's not easy to do that, Fred. I feel silly, but that's the intimacy with yourself.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you about this study they did at University of California, San Francisco. It's called Smile Therapy for people who are clinically depressed.
Wow.
These people were on medication. And what they did, they had them for 20 minutes a day, put a pen between their teeth, and that forced them to...
between their teeth?
That forces you to smile widely, wide smile. Now, it's not easy because these muscles, when you're not used to them, they get tired. So after 2 weeks, these people had improved so much, they got off medication. Why? They changed a pose, a posture on their face, affected their brain. They start producing serotonin, endorphin, things that really are signs of being in a good mood. So between what I just mentioned from the Harvard study and University of California, San Francisco study, you will see that a simple change is very beneficial to you. In fact, Tovah, let's do it again. Hands up. Okay. Big smile, big smile. No, you got to work this. During this one, you're going to have to work. Excellent, excellent. Now, keep it as long as you want. In fact, the audience, I recommend throughout this interview, try it every few minutes. Go like this, big smile.
Okay, but
it has been shown. Yes.
Devil's advocate.
Let me finish this point, then you can ask. So what I would say is very simple. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, when you're typing on the computer, when you're cooking, when you're walking, wherever you are, try to do this throughout your day. And watch what happens within 7 days. Keep track of how it makes you feel, how's your level of energy at the end of the day, how your mood is, and you know how we deal with others when you're in a good mood versus a bad mood. Look at your symptoms, your headache, your back pain, your digestion. This will really help, maybe even for you to get better sleep at night. By following this...
Fred, I'm in pain. Yes. Fred, I'm in pain. I have pain. Doc Tovah, I have pain. What about the pain? So I want to address, like, I'll do that, but what about the pain? Yeah. But you're saying the focus will change. Once I do that, the focus will change. And when we don't focus on the pain, we don't feel it. Can you talk about that?
In about 1 minute. Of course, yes. So let me tell you this. So this is a simple exercise which can reverse tension. Now, knowing Dr. Sarno's work, we know that tension leads to reduction of blood flow and leads to pain. So by increasing positive emotions, by overcoming what goes on in the mind, in the emotions, we're changing our posture, is one method of being able to counter.
It's so clever. It's so simple, and yet
it's simple.
It's so clever.
It's simple. Now, it is very simple. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to give you a very powerful strategy towards the end of this interview that I've developed that really counters stress, anxiety, self-pity, depression, all the internal things that mind and emotional habits that cause a lot of tension and pain that are developed based on what I learned from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I also have a surprise gift for your audience today that I'll tell them at the end of the program. So a lot of things that we mentioned before, we talked about in my first interview about my book, Rapid Recovery from Back and Neck Pain, and what I went through with my own experience, what had to do with what started with a simple back pain for me, then developed into neck pain, shoulder pain, developed into pain and numbness in my both arms and hands, sciatica, which is pain and numbness in both legs. And
you were in a wheelchair. You were in a wheelchair, weren't you?
Well, if I had to go certain places, I had to be in a wheelchair. I just couldn't stand long enough. I just could not. But even going up 2 steps was an extreme effort and pain. Sitting, I mean, I became completely disabled. I couldn't do anything. And for a father of 2 toddlers, that was very painful by itself. So throughout that time, I looked for answers because I'm always trying to learn, grow, and contribute. I was trying to find some solution. As I was doing that, somehow my answer was paired after months and months, 25 months total, where I learned about this doctor at New York University. His name was John Sarno. And he says that it's all caused by repressed anger
But I
and
want to say, but after reading your book, you had gone through really HELL. You'd gone through, I mean, you would just
yes.
constantly, like everything you did, you got worse and you tried this and you tried that. I mean, what a
Hmm.
merry-go-round of symptoms and not bashing the medical system, but like no one could help you. And people tried to help you and it was a disaster. I mean, you went through, it was 9 months.
Yes.
It was 9 months.
25 months altogether. 25 months. In fact, I even saw an NFL back surgeon, world famous back surgeon, and he couldn't even help. He couldn't help. He died. I mean, it was a bad experience.
Because
And I
they
talked about it
found
in the
nothing,
book.
there was nothing wrong. You had a few discs, you had a few this or that. There was
Well,
no.
his diagnosis was a herniated disc.
Okay.
But again, if you check anyone's MRI, you're going to find all kinds of
I have
abnormalities
one.
that
Yeah.
that are simply part of aging. Yeah, I mean, I was only about 30 years old, but again, by
Right.
then you have
But so
osteoarthritis.
tell the audience what was going on for you emotionally during this 25 months that what were you not looking at?
Could you explain more what you mean? What was I?
Like what
In it?
deep feeling were you repressing that this for 25 months that
Oh,
you had to
wow.
come to
Yes,
terms with? You had to look at yourself in
of
the
course.
mirror and say,
Mhm.
Fred, what's going on?
Exactly. Excellent question. And that's when you start to realize all my terrible childhood, and I had symptoms growing up because I had hay fever. The little aches and pains, I got different parts of my body. Never became this bad or chronic, but I was like, oh, the neck pain I had some. I definitely had a lot of issues with TMJ because when you don't talk back, pain starts right here. You're holding back.
Wow.
If you go on my blog, I have something called fredamir.com blog section. Why you hurt where you hurt. When you want to talk back, you don't talk back. You start
Like
having
Louise
pain here.
Hay, like Louise
Yeah.
Hay.
Louise Hay has
Wow.
an excellent book on that. Yes, yes.
Wow.
If you can't stand the problem, your legs start to hurt. If you can't, if you want to hit somebody and you hold back, your arms start to hurt. If you can't handle the situation anymore, your hands start to go numb. So there's a
Wow.
relationship between all. If you don't want to see what's in the future, you may become nearsighted. If you want to see, don't want to see
Wow.
what's in front of you, you become farsighted.
So it's almost like the body's listening
Uh-huh.
to your
Yes, it's a
unconscious
reflection.
thoughts.
It's a reflection of what's going on emotionally. So I had to deal with my early childhood issues. I had to set boundaries with my parents who were overbearing. I had to find better ways to communicate with my wife. In fact, I dedicated the last chapter of Rapid Recovery from Back and Neck Pain to the steps I took to deal with these things. Because yes, you can get excited, you can put your hands up, you can smile. All of that helps, but you have to deal with the core issues and deeper issues. And that's what I start to work with. Because again, once I start doing all that, it made a huge difference long term. It's been over 30 years now. But initially, once I learned about Dr. Sarno, once I learned it's all because I'm angry about the stuff, even though very calm person, very happy. I'm just happy guy. But I realized, oh, I was holding back a lot of things, not even realizing how it was affecting me. And I said, I don't want this. So first, what I did, I combined what Dr. Sarno recommends as ways to treat, knowledge therapy, keep talking to yourself, keep becoming active, stop all treatment for it, don't focus on it. And I combined it with strategies used by Olympic athletes for peak performance, create a lot of positive emotions, push back all the tension, and also set goals like sit longer, walk longer, stand longer,
Something I
do
want to
more
just, I'm going to
to
interrupt just
once
a quick.
again to
Yeah.
break all the condition response,
Yeah.
and I start to improve immediately and then recover very quickly. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I just love that part because it's something that, I'm a little, I do this a lot and I
Mhm.
agree with you 100%. It's not easy for people, but I encourage people to, go out and walk even though they're in pain. Of course, it's neuroplastic pain. And in your book, you
Mhm.
were like, I took 5 steps, I took 6 steps, I walked to the mall. I was definitely feeling sciatica. I definitely had pain,
Mhm.
and so I want people to trust that they're not, because the biggest thing is what if I make it worse. So
Mhm.
we're talking about the doubt and not trusting your body. You had
Yes.
25 months of being almost disabled, and you woke up and you said, I'm going to start to trust this body and walk with pain going down my leg. Maybe you can just chat a little bit about what was going on in your
Sure.
mind. Because you're just walking, you're not going on a marathon run. So I say to people,
Hmm.
you're just lifting your child,
Hmm.
so it's people really have to trust their body and trust that whatever happens, they're going to be okay. Just elaborate on
Sure.
that.
You know what I did? I said, you know what? I didn't even dare to do what you said. I started with just sitting in one place. In fact, the first thing I did, I was lying down. I imagined water that blood is flowing into my
Wow.
muscles. Just
Visualization.
imagine that. I said, let me just imagine blood. And my triceps starts to twitch. I was like, wait a minute. This is amazing. Just imagining reversing the reduction of blood flow is affecting my body. I said, there is something to this Dr. Sarno stuff. So then next step was just sit and don't move, because sitting within 10-15 minutes, it was extremely painful. My back hurt, my sciatic, it was to act up. And that's all I did. I just ignored the pain. It moved around. It became, just
So you weren't
excruciating
scared of
pain.
the pain, like you didn't like was this is the big thing. What helped you not fear this sensation?
Hmm.
What was it? What did you say to yourself? It's just a
Okay. So,
sensation. It's just a normal sensation. It's not going to
mhm.
hurt me. Because you did
Well,
your
what,
own
what,
payment processing therapy without even learning it. You
right.
know,
So what happened was, once before I was so scared that I might become paralyzed. When you have pain and numbness in both legs, I was so afraid every day I would be paralyzed. This is it. I mean, how else? What else can I do? But once I learned it's just reduction of blood flow. And again, I had to go see doctors. I had to, in excruciating pain, manage to, get to the car, sit, and then you go to the doctor's office, you have to wait. So I had already sat through pain, but except you keep wiggling and moving and it's painful. But now I said, I'm not going to give in to the pain.
wow.
Okay. Now, if I have a whole series of videos in the video part section of my website, where it explains step by step what I did, what you can do in order to recover. And I hope you take advantage of it, because once you learn these things, that hey, don't give in to the pain, don't focus on it, don't be afraid of it, because it's just reduction of blood flow. And one of the reasons I could do that was because I wanted to play with my children as fast as possible. I mean, I
You had
didn't
a
want to
really
wait.
strong
I
goal, a big goal, a
strong
big.
goal, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Mention
But
that.
you got to be motivated to say, you know what, this pain is nothing. I want to live my life. You have to make that decision. I've had people I've talked to that they say, I'm just so unhappy with my work. I don't want to go back to work. I'd rather have this pain. Okay, if that's the attitude, that pain is not going to go away. You have to want to get rid of it. But the good news is, once you get over the initial step, as you said, get over the doubt, get over the fear, go like, hey, if I can do this. So every day I did a little more, and slowly started to work with light weights. They all hurt when I worked with light weights, but I said, I got to get past this. I was planning within a month to carry both my children, which I did within 2 weeks, because every day you get on this, it's like, once you get started, it gets rolling, gets better and
Well, I
better.
think what's
And
important also is you were very consistent. And I notice
yes,
with people,
consistent
because they're
change.
so disassociated and they're so kind of out there, it's like the consistency
Mhm.
of, the repetition, the repetition, repetition, because we
Yes,
are training the brain. And for
yes,
people that are listening that
yeah,
maybe are not so familiar, this is a brain game.
yes.
This is
Brain
brain
game, and
pain.
if you
So you were
take
very
something
consistent.
small, yes, take something small. This is the simplest thing, proven, shown at Harvard, University of California, San Francisco. Put your arms up, put your heads up, smile and be happy. Just try that for a week and see if it makes a difference in your life, in your level of pain. Because again, you're increasing blood
Unbelievable.
flow.
I forgot
Not
about that
unbelievable,
on the last show.
unbelievable. It can do. So after I recovered, it wasn't just my pain. I realized, oh, wait a minute, my gastritis, because I'd taken steroids and so many other medications, was so bad I couldn't even look at orange juice. But now I could eat sour stuff, stomach digestion was good. As soon as I started to recover from this, I had a heart murmur. Every time doctors heard it, it's harmless, but it's a murmur there. It was gone because, again, it was due to subconscious anger and rage that was repressed and stored there. I had reading glasses I used for 14 years. Once my eyesight improved. As I said, if you don't want to see, your eyesight goes bad. What you really don't want to see what's going on in front of you. So again, that improved. I got rid of my glasses. And then I had 17 years of hay fever. Now, what is hay fever? Hay fever is when you have your immune system is on high alert. I mean, it's just like going like, oh, don't give me any more. I'm just so upset about things. And it's because of the tension. And so when pollen, which is a harmless thing, shows up, your body goes, whew, I want to get rid of it. It starts to, your nose starts to run, or your eyes start to run. Because again, it's all part of your body saying, I can't take it anymore. Now, I had a client, actually one of my readers, Elsa Howard of New Zealand. She was in a wheelchair. She had severe disability. Once she followed the rapid recovery plan by reading my book, she not only recovered from all of that, but also her allergy to her cats went away. So it was amazing
Her
recovery
what
that
went
can happen.
away?
She
Her
was allergic to cats,
wow. That's
and that
almost
also went. So immune system can also be affected by tension. I think you mentioned this already in your show before about Dr. Gabor Mate's book, When the Body Says No. He has excellent discussion about autoimmune and the effect of emotions, repressed emotions, trauma on the autoimmune system and the several diseases that come from that. But also, when we look at the experience of Norman Cousins, as he talks about it in his book, Anatomy of an Illness, he knew he had an autoimmune condition. He had ended up in a hospital. It appeared, doctors told him he had 1 in 500 people recover from this. And he said, he had a good understanding of the mind-body connection. He said, man, I've been under a lot of stress. Let me reverse that, see what happens. Start
exactly what
watching
he
Marx
said.
Brothers movies. He started to
That
laugh
if
and
my
laugh and
negative
laugh.
feelings caused this,
Mhm.
then my positive feelings can heal this. He's quoted in Joe Dispenza's book, The Placebo.
Yep.
So everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm
Yeah.
meeting more and
Mhm.
more people who are healing ankylosing spondylitis, which is what Norman Cousins had. So this is almost like
Yeah.
this is and this is a big arthritic condition where the body attacked
Yes.
itself. And so your body
Yes.
attacked itself over 25 months or even before that. And you
Right.
figured this out and you called off the attack. You because an allergy is an attack of the immune. Now explain an allergy again. I'm curious, like your explanation.
So what happened is your immune system goes into high alert. So it was to protect you from anything that shows up. When the pollen gets in your system, so that's why during the year it is on high alert, but there are no pollens. But spring shows up, there's a lot of pollens. Ooh, you start sneezing out all the time. You have all the symptoms, runny nose, your eyes are watering. So that's what happens when your immune system is on high alert. But the immune system can be affected with a lot of different things. Of course, emotions, our diet, toxins in the air, water. There's so many factors involved, but definitely emotions play a big part. And the same thing when it comes to cancer. Dr. Kelly Turner has written an amazing book called Radical Remission.
Yeah.
She found people who recovered completely from cancer,
There's that
regardless of
word, radical, rapid, radical,
yeah,
rapid.
radical remission. I don't,
Yeah.
she decided not to call it a spontaneous remission, but she looked at if she interviewed hundreds of patients, found there are 9 different factors that help them recover rapidly, or radically, or spontaneously. Number 1 was taking charge of your health, and I want to commend everybody who's here and listening to this and learning, because once you decide to take charge of your own health and just sit back passively and say, "Cure me," once you start taking charge, you come out of the passive victim mindset and you say, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I can. That alone starts to ramp up your immune system, your ability to take charge and take action. Now, she gives about those 9 factors. 7 of them have to do with your mind and your emotions. She says release repressed emotions, negative emotions, increase your positive emotions, deepen your spiritual connections. And one of the things she found that they had strong reasons for recovery.
They were
Again, reasons
motivated. They
for
were
recovery.
motivated. They had
Motivated to
goals.
get well.
Goals.
Some people, they know that their child's wedding is coming up. Their son or daughter's wedding is coming up. They want to finish college, or they have other reasons that they're like, I got to get out of this. I don't want this. And a lot of times I ask people when I'm working with them as a client, I say, what are your rapid recovery outcomes? What are the things that make you excited about life? You know what they say? I haven't had anything to look forward to for a very long
Yes,
time.
I hear that.
So it's very important for all of us to have something really exciting to look forward to. So today, what I want to do is give you some simple but effective and fun strategies where it'll help you to deal with the two sources of tension that cause pain, autoimmune disease, and all the other symptoms we have. And the first one is dealing with the internal, and then also we talk about external. So internal sources of tension, which could be your mental and emotional habits. It's just habits. There are some people say, I worry all the time, or they have self-critical, they're very critical of themselves, or they have negative thought patterns, constantly thinking about negative things are going to happen to them. They have like negative view of the world. And all of those things, when they happen all the time, and or they have a lot of resentment.
We talk
Resentment is
about the
like a
obsessive thoughts. Obsessive thoughts.
obsessive thoughts, yeah. So all your obsessive thoughts about everything. So all of these start to add up, cause reduction of blood flow that causes pain and other symptoms and affects your immune system. So being able to take care of those is very powerful. All it is, and it's so simple, my God. All you have to do is replace the negative thought and emotional habits with positive ones by doing simple things, as you said, consistently. Very simple stuff. The external sources could be your relationships with your loved ones, with family members, as a parent, as a child. It could have to do with what's going on at your work or business. It may have to do with your financial situation. These are external stuff. But I have found when people deal with the internal, external becomes a lot easier to handle and
Yeah.
even goes away. So one of the first
And
things I
then
want,
I just want to slow you down a bit, but you're saying so many
sure.
incredible points. And I'm talking to Johnny, who's been with me for
Uh-huh.
all 3 years. I met Johnny Limitless Sanchez. I love his name. And sometimes
Uh-huh.
I know he's working. He's in California, I think, but it's the middle of his day. But anyway, somewhere in the Midwest. But I want to say that, you know, and Johnny pops in. He's known me and Rose from the very beginning. And you know, it's chronic. Johnny's been having these chronic things, and he's mentioning one thing comes, another thing goes away. So we're talking about the,
Mm-hmm.
the symptom and correlative. It's like it's not one thing, it's another. So we're still not getting to the cause of the problem. And I think
Mm-hmm.
when we mentioned about the obsessive thoughts, it's not like we're going to get rid of them. And this is my opinion. You tell me yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's can we accept them? Can we witness them? Can we watch them? Can we recognize them? Can we understand why they're obsessive? Can we have compassion for the part of us that's worrying? Or can we
Mm-hmm.
have gratitude for the time where I didn't, I accepted that obsessive thought? Like, can we look at the bigger picture? Because it's not about changing who we are, it's about evolving. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who has. I want to mention this. It's so funny because the a colleague translated the Joe Dispenza books into Hebrew, and they're very popular here in Israel. And he has a podcast called "Evolve or Die." I mean, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like we have to move forward. We have to grow, and we
Mm-hmm.
get stuck, and we think it's our thoughts, and we don't realize that we can control our thoughts by accepting them. And the big question, and Rose would be like, she'd hammer right in. She'd say, so what's those symptoms doing for you? We got to look at our
Yeah.
relationship with our ongoing symptoms. And this is like where we get naked with ourselves. I call it naked with your
Mm-hmm.
clothes on, where you get to really be intimate with yourself and look at, like, what do you need this for, and the goals. And so I love what you're talking about. And, when we say rapid, I think Fred and I agree, rapid is relative. It doesn't mean you're going to be pain free, symptom free, because the symptoms are a reflection of your anxiety. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really about knowing yourself. And that's when we talk about
Right.
the internal. So let's just, because you mentioned it so beautifully about knowing yourself, knowing
Very
why.
important. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell people, look at your TMS experience as a chance to learn, grow, and contribute. It's a chance to get out of like black and white thinking, get out of just this is the only way life is, or this is the only way things happen, or this is the only way to solve my problems. Start expanding your horizons, start learning more, talking to people, watching programs like this try to read more, and start to go like, whoa. And that's what I had to do. Once I come out, I said, wait a minute, I became disabled like this. I thought I was a good communicator. Apparently I was not when it came to communicating with my wife. I thought I was, I was doing everything else right. And I'm like, whoa, I need to improve in the way I was doing things. You don't have to necessarily change as a person. You can, of course, if you're a bad person, become a good person. But the point is to try to expand your horizon, try to learn, become a better problem solver. That's what you want to do. And some of the techniques that I'm going to give you today, and definitely in Vanquish Stress, I give you a strategy how to stop obsessive thoughts, obsessive negative thoughts, because that can really ruin your day and your life. We'll see if you have time, we get into it, because the first two I want to give you are very simple but very powerful. And they can really help you, again, deal with stress, anxiety, worry, depression. Again, once you think more clearly, you make better decisions, you make less mistakes, you become more productive. All of these come together when the mind is free from all the negative thoughts and habits. So let me go ahead, and the first thing I want to talk to you about is a very simple idea, and that is the questions you ask determine the quality of your life.
Say it
The
again,
questions you
slowly.
the questions you ask determine the quality of your life. Change your questions and change your life.
I love
And
it.
this is how it works. When people face difficult situations, when they're in a lot of pain, when they have a lot of problems, questions they ask are why questions and if questions. Now, I call it whining, WHY-NING, whining, because they say, why does this always happen to me? Why nobody loves me? Why God does this to me? Why I had such a horrible parents? Or they have if questions. If that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. I used to ask that all the time. Not a good question to ask, because you're trying to change the past. If that person hadn't given me that horrible advice, I wouldn't be in this mess I am today.
It's bullying.
Or
It's also bullying.
it is a lot of things, and it's not good, because again, it's the victim mindset. You're making yourself a victim. If I had more money, if I had a different spouse, if I had more education, if I lived somewhere else, if. So whining and ifing is not the solution. However, asking questions that start with how, who, and what
Being
can
curious,
change.
curious.
Those are the answers, because if you, and I don't say never ask why, ask, why am I in a car, why I had this car accident, or why did I catch a cold, to find the reason why, but not the kind of why that is part of feeling like a victim. So I'm going to read out a whole bunch of questions that start with who and why, and who, what, and how, and just want you to pick one or two of those, Tovah, as I read them. I'm sure you have a lot of those already, good ones, and the audience as well, because I want you to take these and make them your life questions. Because if you don't change the why and the if questions, you're going to be always be hurting yourself. So here we go. Number one,
So good.
what can I learn from this situation? I want you to ask yourself, you're going through a hard time, ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? My life question is, what can I learn from this situation and help others with it? This
Wow.
question I've asked for a long time, way before even I had my back pain. Because of what I learned, now I started to coach, teach, and write my book, because I always ask, what can I learn from this situation and help others with it? Another question, how am I allowing this to happen? Sometimes we allow bad things to happen to us. What am I doing? Why am I allowing it to happen?
But not to
Who can I?
blame, but not to blame, to be responsible, like you said.
Yes,
I
yes.
also want to mention there's a woman, a Russian scientist who became a integrative doctor. She's
Uh-huh.
a lovely lady. She interviewed 100 people with autoimmune disease
Hmm.
and pain and some even cancer. And they all, because they healed. She interviewed them because they had healed
Oh,
naturally. What did she find? The common denominator, and I want to just comment because you mentioned it.
sure.
They made a decision. They made a decision they were going to heal.
Hmm.
So we're talking about they didn't leave the space for questioning. There was no negotiation.
Nope.
And this is a radical, but it's we all have that in us. And people that get TMS and develop autoimmune disease and conditions and symptoms, we're strong and sensitive people. So
Hmm.
your body created this, like what Norman Cousins said, his body created it, his body can heal it. So
Hmm.
the brilliance that you all have with your Achilles heel can be used to serve you,
Yes, yes.
So
And
back
that's
to that
why
question.
again, simple steps you can take that can make it happen. Ask the right questions, ask how can I heal this condition? What can I learn from this? Who can I talk to help me make the right decision? Who can I have on my support team? Again, these are all solution oriented. You become a problem solver. Is so important for healing, for life, for everything. Let me get you some more questions.
Excellent,
Um,
excellent, Fred.
what am I doing that is working? A lot of times we don't pay attention. And what am I doing that is not working? This can really help you to figure
Or the
out
part of
steps
my
you need
body
to.
that feels good, like the pleasant sensations, focusing on,
Mhm.
oh, this does feel good. This is a pleasant sensation. That's a concept that Alan Gordon uses. Very good. Excellent.
Yes, yes.
What am I doing right?
Um, yeah, what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? How can I get the results I want? Who should I have on my support team? And how can I help others in this situation? So even if you're in a bad situation, you say, how can I help others? I'm limited. I can't do anything. I'm in pain. I'm home. Maybe you can, read something and put a summary of it on your Facebook page, help somebody else. Again, by asking the right question, you can change your life. So what I ask you, pick a couple of questions. I want to ask the audience, pick a couple of questions that you are going to ask yourself and stop asking why me, or if, ask how, ask what, ask who, and then do it daily. Again, it doesn't take too much time, doesn't take any effort. It's just doing it consistently. If you notice yourself going back, and it's going to happen at the beginning, why and if, say, wait a minute, that's not the question to ask. You do it enough times, within 7 days to 21 days, your habit starts to change for the better, and that your life is going to change for the better. So you don't blame others all the time for your problems, but you say, how can I solve this? Give you a simple example. You have a student named Joe. He's getting F in his exam, and he's in the habit of saying, oh, why my teacher does this, or if I had a better, if I was smarter, or whatever, instead of saying, how can I get an A in this test, in this class? What do I need to do better?
Yeah.
Once you focus on the solution, you get better results in your life, no matter what it is. Okay?
It's
All
really,
right.
really very key, very important, and very key. And we're also talking about mindfulness. It's like, well, how do I remember to just write everything down, put it in your journal? I mean, put a post-it note up. Right.
Yes,
This is how we learn a new habit.
yes, I have a good suggestion. Put a reminder on your phone
Yes.
every day. I have some on my phone 2 or 3 times a day. One
You
of them
know,
was yes, go ahead.
there's a new book called Atomic Habits.
Yes,
And I
yes.
I was reading the book The Power of Habit, which I love. And
Uh-huh,
we're saying this is about a habit. How do you learn a new habit? People can learn a
uh-huh.
new habit. We're building a new pathway. This is exactly what we're doing. So yeah, we have to remind ourselves. We have to, we have to write post-it notes. We have to have reminders. We have to have affirmations. This is all the work.
Yes,
Nothing new
yes,
under the sun.
yes.
Fred, Tovah, Schrubener, Gordon, Sarno, Galinsky. There's nothing new under the sun.
Mhm.
We're packaging it in a way that maybe it will just touch you, and you'll be like, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to, because it does take time and mindfulness. And
Mhm.
mindfulness takes time because we're on automatic. So mindfulness is stop,
Yes. Requires awareness.
respond
Yes.
rather than react. And this takes a moment. And
Mhm.
even I caught myself last week. I was in a Hebrew lesson and I'm trying to learn a new language and go into H90 so I can help my brain learn something new, whether it's an instrument or a language. I'm at it.
Mhm.
I'm at it at age 66. I'm learning, and I'm rushing and I'm rushing. And my teacher's like, why are you rushing? I'm like, well, I want to get to the part that you do right. I said, yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
so embarrassed that I'm not. And it was so clear to me that I was not being mindful. I was just wanting to get to the result. I was reacting to the fact that I didn't know all the sentence. And I caught myself like moving into the next moment when I could have just experienced this moment and maybe didn't say the word right. It was so
Yeah.
powerful for me,
Yeah.
Fred. It
Yeah.
was so powerful for
No,
me.
I'm proud of you taking the time to learn a new language
It's
and
mindfulness, it's
applying yourself.
breath, it's
Yes.
slowing down, it's being
Yeah.
present. It's
Yes.
like really all the stuff we're talking about here, right
Yes.
here.
And being present and conscious. What I just showed so far, raising your hand up, big smile, looking up. That doesn't take much time. You could be in your cubicle in the office. You could be in your car. I mean, you touch the ceiling. But again, it can be done easily. Just changing your
Even
question.
visualizing yourself
Yourself.
doing it.
Changing your question instead of asking why, asking how. Simple. Just remember, as you said, be conscious and do it. That's all you. Again, people say, "I don't have time." This doesn't take time. This takes very little, if at all.
By
Now,
the
yes.
way, I love when I remember this stuff about the journaling, which not everybody's can do. It's not easy, but it's an incredible skill and tool. And Dr. Hanscom talks about all the time that he studied it a lot. And he found in one of his studies that if you even just write it in the air, I am healing. They have found that this will change your brain. So if you can't find a paper and pencil, because don't put it on your phone, take a moment, write it in the air. I am healing. I can meet my pain. I can respond. So even if you do that, I feel that this is very powerful.
And it is a form of pose. It's a form of gesture.
Yes.
You are putting effort, and your
Yes.
subconscious says, "Oh, he's not just thinking about it, putting in some effort." Now, I'm really excited about tell you about the other strategy because this is awesome. This is amazing, and I tell you what, because I had a client that contacted me. He was in a wheelchair, and he was so depressed. He was so down that he couldn't even do any of the rapid recovery. I didn't even bother telling him about the steps in the rapid recovery, but I put him on this. Within a week, he was completely out of I started with the program within 3 weeks. He was on a mountain bike out there doing stuff. So it's amazing. But learning this is going to completely change your life, and it completely changed my life. So what happened was, I was watching an interview, a 60-minute TV interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he was the governor at the time. They asked him, how do you deal with the wildfires, with the budgetary issues, with this and that? And he said something that changed my life. He said, the bigger the problem, the more excited I become.
Wow.
I repeated in my head, I said, the bigger the problem, the more excited he becomes. I've never even imagined. Look, I'm a positive thinking person, but I never became excited when I faced the problem. And I thought, whoa, this is amazing. So I did a little more research. I found that in December of 1914, Thomas Edison's 10 buildings of his laboratory caught fire. And they ran. It was evening. It was dark. It was cold. They knocked on his door. They told them, you got to come and see this. I got 5 or 6 in the afternoon. You need to come and see this. All your labs are on fire. He goes around. He's 67 years old. He knocks on his neighbor's door. He says, come. You're going to see once in a lifetime event that you're never going to see again. And he's standing there. And they say he was looking at everything burning and going up in flames, like with a childlike excitement. And his son Charles says, Dad, all your work is just destroyed. You know what he said? Thank God, all of our mistakes are erased and we can start anew. He told New York Times, I'm 67 years old and I'm going to continue. I'm going to rebuild and keep making inventions. So he borrowed $10 million from Henry Ford. He rebuilt everything until 84. He was making stuff. He didn't get back pain. He didn't end up depressed. He didn't have stomachache. He didn't fire anybody. He went back to work.
He accepted his reality.
He was excited about the reality. That's the difference. He didn't sit there going like, oh my God. He trained himself. I doubt he was born that way. Just like Arnold trained himself. When a problem comes, I get excited. Because if you do this, and it's really easy to do, and I'll show you how to do it, your life will transform. You become an amazing problem solver. You get rid of worry, anxiety, stress, depression, so many internal sources of angst and anger. It's amazing. And I will tell you, I've had, and this is amazing. Once you do this, you'll get a lot of opportunity to get excited all the time. So what I want to show you today, and let me tell you, I'll give you 3 examples of my clients. I have a Hollywood actor. He loved this thing because he did it on a regular basis, but especially before doing a scene. And he said that we're going to do a scene. It was usually takes 7 or 8 takes to get it right because there was a lot of emotional scene. And I would do this, and I'd get there 1 take, and the director would say, "Okay, that's it, done. That's the cut." I had another client, a co-founder of a multi-million-dollar internet company. He was fired by the board of director of his own company, like kind of like Steve Jobs. He was like, he was really in shock when he contacted me. We were doing our weekly sessions. He says, "I don't know what to do, Fred." I said, "Wait a minute. Remember, you get excited. Don't let this get you down." He said, "You're right. I forgot all about that." So he started getting excited again. He got his act together. He got over his anger over what has happened. He got together with a few other people who were fired as well. He started his own company. He's doing great. And I'll give you a simple example of daily life. One of my clients went to get a cup of coffee and forgot her wallet in the coffee shop. She goes to work. When she gets to work, she realizes, "Oh my God, I don't have my wallet with me." Her coworker starts to panic. "Oh my God, somebody could steal it, could take the money, charge on a credit card." She's like, "Oh no, this will lead to something great." She was so calm about it. She drove back to the coffee shop. Somebody had found it, given it to the manager, and she had her wallet. All the worry, all the stress, all the anxiety that could have happened didn't happen.
Okay, so somebody's in chronic pain, or they have a big bellyache, or they have pain, or they have a headache. What do they do, Fred?
They will do what I'm going to explain to you in a minute.
Okay.
So what happened is, once you're excited about these kind of situations that happen in your life, you stay in a state of gratitude. And anybody can tell you, the more gratitude, the more good things come into your life. So the first thing I want to do is help you eliminate all your problems. See, Tovah, when I say the word problem, pain, stress, how does it make you feel? See, your face changed even.
Yeah,
Oh my
I just
God.
took like
I
a
mean, just thinking about it.
side. I know,
Yeah,
it's like
yes, this is the power of words. Just 1 word, 2 words. What if I say vacation? You're smiling already. Beach. Yeah. Ice cream. Yeah. Just words. These are just words. So what I want to do is help you.
But
Let me
what
finish.
you're having, go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish. Get rid of the word problem in your life, because now I want you to come up with a replacement, because the word itself can have a negative impact on you. Instead of the word problem, have words like challenge, situation, obstacle, because you can go over an obstacle, a rock on the path.
Opportunity.
It's an opportunity. Definitely. Somebody said it's a test. I passed the test. I'll get a greater reward out of it. One of my clients recently said it's a blessing. Could be a blessing in disguise. So pick a word for yourself from now on, for yourself, and I'd like your audience also do the same thing. Instead of the problem, what word will you use? Will it be challenge, situation, opportunity? What will it be? Again, instead of why and if questions, ask how and what and who questions. Instead of problem, use the word opportunity, challenge, situation, things that you feel like you have some control. Again, feeling of control does a lot for us to be healthy. What's your word from now on?
So listen, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate, because I've met people on my show. I mean, getting up to 200 shows. This is like, and I'm not slowing down here. That's my word. I'm not slowing down.
High five.
And even the guy with, like, it reminds me of the guy from Turkey who healed himself with ankylosing spondylitis in a few months. And he was like, "Bring it on. Come on, pain." Now, this is a personality because I'm meeting people that the pain is so great or it's so indented in, like it's such a habit. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. There's a fear pain cycle. And what we can what we're recommending to the listeners and to anyone that's going to listen to this is that part of it is that you're focused on the pain. And if you're focused on the pain, it will be a 10. But not only
Mhm.
can you dial down the pain to 8 and 7 and 6, this is possible. This is central sensitization. This is possible. And this is also a learned habit, a habit you have to practice. You have to, not you have to, but I want people to believe that they can overcome and meet this sensation.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
it's,
and you know what
and
I
what you're
did?
saying is important, but there are people who are
Yes.
so obsessed and so focused
Mhm.
and so frightened of the pain. And the medicine's not helping because if the medicine was helping, they wouldn't be calling me. But there,
All right.
so what do we do with people? And these are incredible, incredible skills and tips and insights. But somebody's in excruciating pain
Mhm.
and they're so fearful. How would you shift them? Because you've met people that are obsessed with the pain and so scared. And I can't say, don't be scared. I can say, let's move. There's a cycle. And if you can
Mhm.
befriend the pain, if you can understand that the pain is in your brain, there's no real threat. Here, Tony's talking about, her back and hip pain and her migraines is buried in your brain. So is the
Mhm.
solution is buried in your brain. And you've learned the pain. And so if you can understand that the pain is in your brain, it's not in your body. And if you can tell me, I want to hear your words. I know what my words are, but what are your words when it
Sure.
comes to
Sure.
seeing? Just one last thing: how can we have our clients and our listeners see their pain through a lens of safety?
Right,
It's the
right. And
words
you
about
know, I
mobility.
was there myself. I was afraid of to even move much because of so much pain and how it could damage me for the rest of my life. I
So
was
let's
it
go
was already
back there. What
terrible.
did you do, and how
Yeah.
did you
So
meet your
yes.
pain?
So this is what I did. I said, this is a new idea. Look, I believe to, I'm very skeptical. I always want to see evidence. I want to see the science, but also I'm open to new ideas. When I said initially, when I read Dr. Sarno's ideas, I'm like, wait a minute. This is way out there as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I understand the mind body connection, but how can all this pain and numbness and these weird symptoms all over my leg and feet, other places, could be caused by just reduction of blood flow? But the solution was fairly harmless. I realized, you know what? I can try it. It may get a little worse, but I won't become paralyzed. It's not telling me to, go run a marathon. It's not telling me to jump up and down. I can just simply start step by step, imagining more blood going into my muscles, see what happens. Sit longer, see what happens. Now, of course, when I first sat, the pain started. Then it went in my legs. I ignored it. Went into my tailbone, extremely painful. I said, "Oh, it moves around. Okay, this is what Sarno says. Looks like it makes sense." Oh, nice moving to the front of my knee. I never really had pain that much there, but oh, that part, and then
You
side,
were doing
front of
somatic
my neck.
tracking. You were literally
So
watching your
yes,
pain.
right. So what I'm saying is, if you're that afraid, like I was, step by step, build your confidence, but be flexible. Be flexible. Sometimes you need to step back. Again, you step forward. Be clear about where you're going. Have strong reasons for recovery, create a lot of positive emotions. Sometimes you need to ignore the pain. Sometimes you need to reward your improvement. Sometimes you need to fight the pain. Sometimes you need to scare the pain. I used to hit myself, I said, you think this pain is bad? I'm going to give you pain that's even worse. You know, you try different things. You don't, again, I said, what you learn, and you can use the same mentality in issues you deal with your life, with the challenges, with the situations. If you do something in your relationship is not working, try something else. If I think it was Einstein who said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Try something else, try something
Oh,
new, learn something new. learn and grow and contribute. That's how life is. And you have a good point. People feel like, I've had this, what can I do? Try different things, but most importantly, live, live, live. Go, you know what? I want to get out there. I want to go on a trip. I want to go out there. I want to run a little bit. I want to try different things a little bit to the extent you're comfortable with, but do it consistently, as we said, and continue doing it. And that's where you see the result. In fact, instead of the word pain, maybe you can call it chocolate. All of a sudden, it's no longer pain. It's chocolate now. It's ice cream. It's vacation. Use a word that you go like, yeah.
Call it Peter.
Oh,
Call it Peter.
Peter. Yeah. Oh, Peter, get out of here. So again, using language, words make a difference. And that's what we talked about. So what do you do when you face a problem? Oh, I'm sorry, a challenge or a situation. So let me give you an example. As you said, as one of my clients said, problem could be it could be a blessing. I'll give you an example because you may be going through something now, but the solution could help you and a lot of other people. In 1997, Victoria Knight McDowell, second grade teacher, Carmel, California, got sick and tired of constantly catching colds and being sick. You know, you're a teacher, kids come talk to you, they got sniffles, they got cold, you catch it constantly. So she set out to find a solution. Again, how can I solve this problem? So she looked around, she found that, okay, vitamin C is good, there's herbs they can use. So put some sort of a potion together that really helped her. She made it for her friends. That really helped them. Her husband said, you know, maybe you should package this and sell it. So they did. So they packaged it and they came up with a product called Airborne. If you haven't seen Airborne,
Oh my God,
this
I
is
love
Airborne.
it. I miss
Okay?
it. I can't. Oh, it's wonderful. I love it.
Airborne.
What a great
7 years.
story.
It is a great one because 7 years later, they sold their company for $100 million. Now,
She never
the
got sick
reason,
again.
I hope not. No. But the point is, was she a doctor? No. Was she a researcher? No. She was an ordinary person, although I would say every teacher is extraordinary. They're wonderful, 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 make a lot of sacrifice to take care of the students. But yeah, it wasn't even her field of expertise. She studied it, she learned a problem she had, she found a solution that helped her, everyone around her, and all of us, and made $100 million doing it. So you have issues in your life. Look, I was disabled. I didn't know there was an answer. Hey, I got recovered. I wrote a book. It's helping people around the world. I'm doing what I love to do, and it's help and heal others. So for yourself, don't give up. Know that what you're going through, that challenge, that situation, there's a lot of good things come, but you have to stay excited because when you stay excited, like Arnold, like Edison, what happened is you keep looking for solutions. You don't give up. That's the important part. You don't give up and keep moving forward. So what are the steps to get excited and solve your problems? Number one, you have to pick a pose that this signifies to you strength. Now I have people who say, oh, I get in a boxer mode, I feel strong, put my hands on my head, I feel strong. Some people like the Wonder Woman go like this is strength. What would be a similar pose that shows you strength, Tovah? What would be your
Well,
strength pose?
for me, to me, it's I understand the body language. Just you know, just pulling your shoulder blades back. Putting your head back on your chest like this, open power pose. Thank you, Scotty. It's more
Mhm.
this like I'm open, I'm receiving. It's dealing. I call it living with gravity in a graceful way
Uh-huh.
because there's like that gravity. So I like it coming from the belly, like the core,
Uh-huh.
like I call it your Pilates belly, and kind of like I can handle this.
Mhm.
It's like you're teaching your brain, you're letting your brain know that you got this. And like I say to people, we've got to love the part of us that we even don't like. Like we've got to
Mhm.
love the part of us that. So there's a book called whatever arises, love that. It's like, but I
Mm.
can handle it.
Okay.
What if this
Good.
happens? You can handle that. What if that happens?
Okay.
You can handle that because they're all thoughts. They're all thoughts
Yes.
anyway. And what if this happens? You can handle that. And we do know something bad might even happen. You can
Mhm.
handle that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a power of words. Power of words again. What you say to yourself, what you say to yourself, very important. So for you sitting up straight, stomach tight, head high,
Shoulder
that helps
blades
you.
together.
Shoulder
You know,
blades,
you want to
yeah.
feel that tension. You want to feel this like positive sense in your like that
Uh-huh.
you're like, you know, and when you're sitting up straight, you're in touch with your body. It's a
Mhm.
mindful, it's a somatic act, just like when we take a deep breath. And I think what
Okay.
you're talking about a lot is by focusing on a posture or looking up, or it's distracting yourself from the pain, because we tend to focus on the pain and we feel like we're stuck there and we're not. Focus on your posture, focus on your back, focus on your toe, focus on your excitement. The
Mhm.
visualization is a very important. And
Mhm.
remember, it's the brain doesn't just distinguish between your visualization and the real thing. Is it the unconscious mind or the conscious mind? I'm always getting confused. When you
Well,
visualize and
yeah.
imagine, your brain thinks it's real. Your conscious mind thinks it's really happening. Is it the conscious mind?
Well, you do it consciously, but what happens, remember, we dream in pictures. So when you visualize, it's going into your subconscious.
Right. Okay.
Right. And that's why
So
it's important. That's why it's
yeah.
important to see yourself. And that's the next thing we will do. But I just want you to be clear that, again, for you and for your audience, choose something that really makes you feel strong. A pose that means you're strong, you're unstoppable, unbeatable, you feel strong. Now, if that really helps you, if not, I will go something big, something, exaggerated. So it says like, okay, I'm really strong. The second thing is, what is your symbol of power? Because just visualizing yourself being maybe Rocky the boxer, and a lot of my female clients love Wonder Woman, being Wonder Woman. Some
Mhm.
people, well, I had a client who said, Everest, I love Mount Everest. If I think
How
I'm Mount
about
Everest, I must love it. Yes.
making your pain, your symptoms, your sensations,
Mhm.
this uncomfortable feeling in your body, making it your superpower. It's your superpower. This was I got
Yes.
this from I learned this from
Okay.
somebody. It was not my idea. Everything's repetitive intelligence anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Superpower and understanding the gift, the blessing, what you can learn from this sensation.
Mhm.
So this is all just beautiful. The way you're explaining it is just so unbelievable. Really, really,
Yes.
really.
And
So
what
yeah.
and what we're doing, we're going from power pose and we're adding to it a power image. So we're enhancing the initial thing we learned that they done at Harvard, which is power pose. You combine it with the power image of yourself. So and then we need power phrases. Now that's the reason we need that is when we face a difficult situation, what do people usually say? Why now? Why me? Right? Why does this happen to me all the time? So people start coming up with a lot of whining and a lot of discomfort and unhappiness. So we want to change the phrase. Now that you're power posing and you have a powerful image of yourself, then you will say the following. You might want to write this down. I'll same with your audience. Of course, you can always watch this later and write it down again. This will lead to something great. This will make me stronger.
Love it.
I know it. I know it in my heart. For sure, this will lead to something great. Once I start to say this and do it while I'm in my power pose, imagine myself to be Rocky, whew, my life was transformed. And
Wow.
anyone who does this on a regular basis will see. And I tell people, start doing this when you're eating, when you're walking, anything you do. I had a client said, I've been saying it when I pick up my dog poop, but I don't know about that.
Listen, we're
Is
talking about the law of attraction. We're
it?
talking about a chemical reaction. We're talking
Yes.
about the placebo as opposed to the
Again,
nocebo. This
again, all of
is
these, yes,
chemical.
all of this that you do will increase blood flow to your muscles, will push back tension on
Forget
daily
even the
basis.
changing your cortisol and bringing up your
Yes,
happy chemicals,
yes.
or Joe Dispenza was talking about elevating your emotions, your elevated
Mhm.
emotion. This is what the experts are telling us, and we are the expert. You are the doctor. You are the placebo. Really, Fred and I are just messengers here. You can do
Yes,
this. I mean,
yes, yes, yes. It is, it is.
so
So, Tova,
so
maybe I missed it.
powerful.
What is your power symbol? What is it? If you become that, you feel strong and powerful and unstoppable. What is it?
What's my power symbol?
Power symbol. As I said, could be Wonder Woman, could be a mountain, could be a fast running horse, could be a stream, could be someone in your life. One client said, my mother. Oh, my mother. When I think of her, how strong she was, I feel so powerful.
Wow. Well, it's a good
Is
question.
it
I'm not, I can't answer that right away, but
okay?
I also want to
Huh?
comment just before we answer that question. We can ask people in the audience to tell us their power symbol, but
Of course.
I always want to go into that. Power doesn't always mean, remember we talked about success is relative. Being rich is relative. Being powerful is relative. The ultimate form of control is letting go. So this may be a little counterintuitive. Power can be, I'm in discomfort. I'm powerful. I'm in my discomfort zone. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm moving into a new comfort zone. That's power. I'm moving emotionally. I'm not comfortable. I'm not happy. I'm lonely, and that's powerful because I'm accepting it. So it doesn't always have to look like the white picket fence or the fantasy. Let's get into
Right.
reality. Let's move into the reality.
Right.
Right now, I'm in transition. I'm in transition.
Okay.
Transition. I used to go on a date and say, I am very secure that I'm insecure. And I made that up. I was like,
Oh.
wow, I'm very sure that I don't know. I'm very sure that I am in transition. This is a powerful sense of shifting. Like what's for you? Where do you feel in control? And it's kind of a letting go softness, not like I'm in control. And Wonder Woman was very
Right.
soft. And Rocky
So
was very soft. Rocky was very
yeah,
soft.
exactly. So
And I'm Philadelphia.
flexibility.
So I know
Yes.
that those steps. And when he was calling, what was his girlfriend's name?
Oh,
I don't know, whatever he was calling her name,
yeah.
and it was very soft and very warm and very so we're talking about something very counterintuitive,
Well,
about
right.
that.
So what I'm saying is
Did I
again,
get off? Did I distract you?
being flexible, being
Yeah,
flexible, and
yeah,
this power is your power over your body. We're not talking about power over other people. You're trying to increase your power over your symptoms and your body. That's what we're looking at.
yeah.
So in a positive way. Now I'm gonna make you the Wonder Woman for today until you come up with this
Maybe
power
you can
symbol.
make Nicole the Wonder Woman. Nicole came on to
Is she
talk
the
about.
Wonder Woman too?
Thank you for your comment, Nicole. Do you want to be the Wonder Woman, not me? Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
here.
yes, definitely. Thank you, Nicole. So what I would say is, well, we're going to practice this because there's more to it. Now, those of you who are at home, please stand up, get into your full power pose, and go ahead and just close your eyes. Now, go ahead, Tova, close your eyes. Sit the way you give you a feeling of power and power pose, and imagine yourself being Wonder Woman or anything that gives you power. As you feel that, take a deep breath, feel good, feel strong and powerful, and repeat after me. This will lead to something great. And say it
This
out loud
will
with strength.
lead to something great.
This will make me stronger.
This will make me stronger.
I know it.
I know it.
I know it in my heart.
I know it in my heart.
For sure.
For sure.
This will lead to something great.
This will lead to something great.
Now, with more energy, with more determination and certainty, let's do it one more time.
Okay.
This will lead to something great.
100%, 1,000% this will lead to something
You can
great.
add to it as well later. This will lead to something great. Repeat.
This
Go
will
ahead.
lead to something great.
This will make me stronger.
This will make me stronger.
This will make my dreams come true.
This will make all my dreams come true.
I know it.
I know it.
I know it in my heart.
I know it in my heart.
For sure.
For sure.
This will lead to something great.
This will lead to something great.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, now you can open
Nice.
your eyes, you can come back. You do this all the time, you'll be amazed what will happen to your life. What I tell people is this: practice, practice. And when you think of something that's a challenge, you need to change how you feel about it. It's an internal change. So instead of getting upset and sad and saying what we just did one or two eyes, if you have to say it 5 times, check again. Say, do I feel better about that? If you do, I received a very challenging news one time. I had to do this 20 times, maybe even 25 times to feel good about it, and was able to solve the issue, to
Wow.
overcome the challenge in an amazing way. So it's
Wow.
very important to understand that this can really make a difference.
We call it
Now I want to go back.
emotional resilience.
You
Emotional
can call it
resilience.
anything you want, but it works. But you have to, again, consistent, consistent, consistent. If you're at work or in the mall shopping, please do not go like, I'm strong and powerful. I'm just going to lead somewhere. No, no, please. As you walk in, you can keep telling
But you
yourself,
know what? You can
this
do
will lead
whatever
to
you want. There's sky's the limit. I don't care what you do. Don't listen to
what you
Fred.
do.
Do it
Okay.
wherever you want.
Again, if you're sitting in a meeting, if you're in a gathering, if you're somewhere that you cannot do it
You
fully,
can
keep it
say it
going.
in your mind. The
Keep
mind's
saying it.
eye.
Keep
The
saying
mind's
it.
eye.
And just to agree with you on a lot of stuff, but on this point, this is not a distraction. We know negative thoughts, negative emotions, and habitually doing those things, habitually saying things to yourself that are negative, can lead to tension. But if you constantly feed yourself positive stuff, constantly, overcoming doubts has to do with also reading stories of people who recover, reading stories of this the teacher who came up with
Airborne.
airborne. Again, all of these will help you become more and more positive and stronger every day. Just start taking it step by step by step. Now, I want to deal with the earlier question about having obsessive thoughts. I mentioned this in Vanquish Stress. I think we have enough time right now. Let me just see. Oh yeah,
We
I
have
wanted to
all the
cover
time in
this.
the world.
Yeah, I want to give him give very easy, very small one. I don't want to give too many things to people because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. Because all we did today was raise your hand, hop, and smile. Get excited when you see a problem. Tell yourself you lead something great. And one more thing, and that is ask how and what questions and who questions. Very simple. I don't want to give too many things, but since he brought it up, and I think this is very helpful, is that when negative thoughts come, do the same thing. Get in the pose, feel strong, but say to yourself, mention your name first, then say, stop it and move forward with your life. So I'll give you examples. Like if you have a lot of negative thoughts about, oh man, when I was a kid, my parents hurt me, my dad beat me, whatever, it keeps coming in your head. I tell myself, Fred, stop it and move forward with your life. Fred,
Wow.
stop it and eat your lunch. Fred, stop it, make your dreams come true. I've done this so many times that negative
Wow.
thoughts just don't come. Again, repetition consistently will
Wow.
change the brain wiring. I was walking one time by a stream. It's a beautiful day. I'm walking all of a sudden, and you go in a state of trance. I mean, it's like hypnosis. You're like, all of a sudden, your mind is somewhere else. You don't even notice what's going on in front of you. You don't really pay attention. You may be driving, maybe eating, and you realize, wait a minute, the whole time, all the negative thoughts were in my head. All you do, you tell yourself, John, Nicole, Fred, whatever your name is, stop it and move forward with your life. Stop it. Make your dreams come true. Stop it. Enjoy your coffee. Anyway, if you do that again 4 or 5 times, watch it. Is the thought back again? Stop it again. Stop it. And you notice after doing it again consistently for a day, for a 2 or 3, you're like, oh, I have very few of those thoughts anymore, or I don't have any anymore. You just have to decide based on what we talked about today, what is it you want to change? Pick one of them. Say, you know what? I just want to raise my hand up, smile, and feel good. Yeah, do that. You know what? I just want to be excited when things go wrong instead of getting sad and depressed and go home. My energy is low with back pain. Very simple. Again, I'd love to focus on simple, effective techniques and strategies that give great results.
Fred, First of all, Rocky's girlfriend was Adrian.
Oh, okay.
Adrian.
Wow.
That came up for me because my mind got so clear.
I know it's
2,
Talia Shire. I know the name of the actress herself, actually, Talia
yeah,
Shire.
what's her name?
She played the part, but I don't remember
Yeah, she's
her name
Spanish.
in the movie.
She's Spanish, maybe, or
I don't know.
no.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe even Moroccan. But Fred,
Uh-huh.
I had such a great time. I really enjoyed. I get you, like I get you, and you said so many really important things, and the bittersweet is that people can do this even when they're in discomfort. They can do this. This is possible.
It's very
These are
easy.
not big. These are
Yeah.
small things, but can be done because if there's so many. It's really, they say if you can't find a way, make a way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So
look, yeah, and in 1 hour, if you look at it this way, you eliminated your problems. You have questions that empower you, and you become unstoppable, like Arnold and Edison. Now, about the surprise gift. I want to help you more, answer your questions. So, if you'd like to talk to me, I have for you a complimentary 25-minute consultation. You can schedule
amazing.
on fredamir.com coaching.
Yeah.
And in the gift codes section, just put in TMS RoundTable. Okay?
And if you
And
want to co-therapy with Fred and I, we'll do it together. We'll do
hey,
with you together. Because
great to offer that.
Fred and I, like like we see, like we talk, like we have a little different language, but sometimes it takes a village. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm always, I offer anyone who comes
Yeah.
to my shows a complimentary consultation. They want to talk to me on a Zoom, and an intimate Zoom, and get personal insights,
Uh-huh.
because we can't heal people on a Facebook page. We need to talk to them and be with them and connect to them. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's an amazing
Yeah.
offer. I mean, look, I think Fred's work is outstanding. There's a lot of things that Fred does that I don't think to do, or I do them in a different flavor, but they're amazing. And Fred, the way you framed every tool and insight tonight was just so powerful. And I love your ability to, like, mention people, like studies, and I love your stories. I love it. I just love
Yeah.
you have a richness of resources that really are so beautiful. I'm so excited that we did the show, and I'm really going to send it out. Like, I don't always send out the recordings. It's
Mhm.
always on my YouTube, but I'm going to really share this. And I don't know what we want to call it. Airborne. Adrian, I don't know what we want to call it. Even just making people laugh is secreting
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
chemicals, and they're going to feel better. So just
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah.
You're going to heal whether you want to or not, like the homeopathy,
Yeah.
but the fact that if you want to heal, it's a done deal,
Yes, and again, I also have free resources at fredamir.com. You can check the TMS questionnaire, because what it does, it rates the different internal tensions like worry, negative thought patterns, self-criticism, pessimism. So you get the sense like, oh, I worry a lot. I need to work on that. I have a lot of negative thoughts, maybe. I need to work on that. That will help you to figure out where the problem is. You can watch my rapid recovery collection video right there. So you get a sense of how to recover, what are the steps to take. You can watch the pain facts video. Again, all these tools are available. And again, on my blog, I cover a whole lot of different information about health in general. But again, take charge of your health. That's the important part.
Something else Fred and I have in common. I think if I really want to write a book, but I'm never going to retire, so I don't know when I'm going to write a book. But anyway, I just thought of a great name for my book: Relentless Rapid Recovery. Fred, you're relentless, and I'm like that too. Like, I will not give up on someone. Like, I will not give up on you. But if you're going to give up on yourself, then what do I do? But relentless, like, just stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Because that's how strong you are in your creating this condition or creating this pain. You have this strength of character. Use it to serve you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I love the relentless part of your rapid recovery.
And you become stronger. Again, once you take these steps, you become stronger. You become again, I tell people, once you start doing this and you become a problem solver, whether it's at home or at work,
100%.
people seek you out.
And
You
you're
become
already
a
problem
leader.
solving. You're already a smart person. You're already doing
Yeah,
these amazing things. It's just
yeah.
part of you that's kind of like, you know,
Mhm.
concave, you know, like you've created this, you know, block or this, you know, so like it's the part of you that, you know, and you can't heal a body you hate. So we're talking
Mhm.
about love, we're talking about acceptance, we're talking about compassion, we're talking about gratitude, and that this
Yes.
pain is not here, it's not punishing you, your body's not punishing you. There's a protective mechanism, and all these things that Fred mentioned can help
Mhm.
bring safety to a body under threat. And I just am so excited that we did the show, and we will have a part 3. Fred is on Facebook. If you just forgot everything we said, just go to Fred Amir. He's on Facebook. I'm going to put everything on the YouTube, his website and
Mhm.
everything. His book is called Rapid Recovery. Rapid Recovery. Remember that. And
From
Fred
back
seems
and
like
neck pain, though. Rapid recovery from back and neck
from
pain.
back and neck pain, from
Yeah,
everything, because the
yeah.
body heals. I mean,
And I tell you,
nothing.
it's all together. It's all together. It makes a huge difference. Again,
Yeah.
your mental attitude, the way you see the world, the way you deal with the world, the way all of that matters. And once you start to change that, you'll see internal change leads to external
Oh, you
change.
just gave me this
Again,
amazing, Fred. I'm just giving me this amazing, but I have to say it. Living here in Israel, and you and I talk
yeah.
about Israel. I wanted to say that David Ben
Mhm.
Gurion, said that if you to to believe in it, you must be a realist to believe in miracles. Is that the statement?
Mm.
You have to be a
Yeah,
realist to believe in miracles. That's what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You have to be a realist. You have to believe, because this is and miracles are happening all the time. It's like you don't have to be a Dalai Lama on the mountain to heal. You have to do
Hmm.
what Fred said. Listen to
Yeah,
Fred. Listen to your own. You have a Fred in you. You have a Tove in you. We're just these messengers. We're these little angels that came along, but you're attracted to us because you're an angel.
and one of the things that one other piece of I guess I can pass on is whatever you focus on daily expands in your life. Again, whatever you focus on daily expands in your life. What are you focusing on daily? Is it
What are you
health?
water? What are you watering?
Is
What
it
are you
is
watering?
it
What are you
yes?
nurturing?
Is it gratitude? Is it kindness? Is it generosity? Is it a scarcity mindset, but there, instead of a prosperity mindset? What are you focusing on? In fact, I have this written and posted on my mirror, because every day I say, what am I focusing on? Again, whatever you focus on expands. All your energy, thought, effort will go in that direction. So focus on things that are good for you, empower you, make you stronger, make you
Yeah.
healthier. So again, proper mindset makes a huge difference. And all the research, you look it up, confirms that. So for
100%.
yourself, say, what is my mindset? What is my outlook? What am I focusing on daily? And you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how your life is going to get better and better if you do it day after day.
Yeah.
So we're not looking for quick fixes,
Yeah.
but quick fixes may show up, because once you get things rolling, then it goes faster and faster. You be amazed, like, whoa, I never thought this could happen. And I see it in the lives of my clients. Big believer in setting goals, in having plans, in having dreams, making a dream board, because that visual of a dream board keeps affecting your
Yeah.
mind. And I had a client who was looking for sometimes it's overnight. I had a client who was looking for a different job. So I'm not happy at my work. I said, make your goal, be clear, focus on getting a new job. He gets a call 2 days later from one of his supervisors who'd gone to a different company, who contacted him and said, we have an opening here. Do you want to come work here? And I'm like, I see it all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe this. I said,
No,
I
there's
see
a
it all the
science.
time.
Law of attraction is science. There's a
It's
science.
very
It's
clear.
science. It's scientific.
Yes,
It's chemical. The law of
yes,
attraction. Really, really
yes.
important
And
stuff.
again, being positive, staying excited. Look at Arnold, a bodybuilder. And he kept growing as an actor, as a business owner, and became governor.
Yeah.
So have big plans for your life, have great ideas, and don't give up.
Yeah.
Just stay excited, stay thankful and in gratitude. People say, well, you say it leads to something great. I say, yeah, because God is great and his power is greater than anything you and I can do. And once he decides to give you something, everything will go through.
Yeah.
As long as you are staying grateful, you're not giving up, things start working. If it's good for you, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And
So,
it reminds me of the again, I just want to repeat because I see Russell. I haven't seen you in so long. Russell's from Israel. So I'm so happy that you're here. And again, that joke about when God, throws an anchor to the guy. He's like, no, I'll get the next rescue. So be aware of
yeah.
what's happening because it may not look like what you're
Mhm.
like, up to 7 years. Bruce Lipton says we're conditioned, then we spend the rest of our life unconditioning our condition. So we have to
Yeah.
know ourselves. And I would love to leave you with, and this was the hardest thing for me to do. And I hired a business coach years ago, and it was someone I did online this program all about law of attraction. And I had to look in the mirror each day and speak to myself and tell myself I'm
Mhm.
successful. I'm beautiful. I can do this. And
Uh-huh.
it was so hard, Fred. It was so difficult. Why? Why is
Yeah.
that so difficult for us to do? To look in the mirror and I will get better. I'm healing. Peace will come. Like, why is that hard, Fred? Why is that so hard for us?
Honestly, it reminded me when I took my first class in psychology in chapter 5 of Rapid Recovery from Back and Neck Pain. I mentioned that's what I started to do because the best class I ever took is we learned about visualization. If you really believe it in your mind, it's as if it's happened. So I started imagining I had the best childhood ever, which wasn't true, but it really helped me. But also what you say to yourself. So I started looking at myself in the mirror every day, going like, hey, you're the best looking guy on campus. Is true or not, I don't care.
But why is it
I'm
hard?
strong.
Why
You
is
know,
it
I,
hard?
you know, it wasn't hard for me at the time, and it's not hard, of course, now. But I think we just have a hard time communicating with ourselves, facing ourselves. And once we get over that, becoming our own coach. I
Yeah.
became my own therapist in a way because of what I had learned.
Your own
So once you
friend.
get
Befriend yourself. Be
my own
friends with
friend,
yourself.
yeah, yeah. But again, like anything new, it's going to be hard at first. Is it hard for you still? Maybe a little bit. You look like it is.
Listen, it's not something I do,
Uh
but
huh.
it is and but journaling doesn't come easy. Like I'll be doodling. I'm like, what are you avoiding, Tova? Why are you doodling? And then I'll be like, it's okay to doodle. You can avoid, you're allowed to avoid. It's not easy to face,
Uh
to
huh.
be like, I call it naked with your clothes on, or to be with yourself. It's not a comfortable thing. It's not a usual thing. Oh, but you're so good with clients and you're so good with your kids. So it's an interesting thing to learn about yourself. So
Mm.
I think it's something we need to do because it's
Yes.
not
Yes.
comfortable. So do we do
Yeah.
everything that's comfortable? No. There's a book called Reaching into the Resistance by Dr. Alan Abbas. We have to
Mhm.
fold into the resistance. What's the Buddha say? Like, you have to meet the resistance. This is
Mhm.
part of our life journey. We're sensitive, strong people. Kim and Scotty and Johnny and wonderful people that came on the show tonight. I'm so happy to see you, Russell. We're sensitive people. Face it. We're drawn to this kind of work because there's something about us. But there's this sort of one foot on the brake, one foot on the gas, because
Mhm.
there's this. So we want to meet ourselves, but we don't. So just spend your life progressing and don't be hard on yourself. Don't bully yourself, but do the best you can. Please always do the best you can, but push yourself. Go into the non-comfort zone. Make that your new comfort zone. Then move into another new comfort zone. This is not, who said it was going to be easy? And what is easy? Easy, hard, or just words? It is what it
And
is.
again, baby steps continuously. That's all. Baby steps continuously. You heard something new. You said, think for yourself. Is it safe? Is it going to hurt? Yeah, Nah, okay, I'll take a step. I take it. I've tried acupuncture, but I never did before, and I liked it. I tried Reiki energy healing. I said, okay, it seems safe. A lot of people do these things. I tried that. I've tried homeopathy. I've tried again, whatever and whenever necessary. I go see a mainstream medicine. You got to be open to all modalities, and again, as long as it's safe. If you see no harm in standing in front of a mirror and talking to yourself, it may feel silly at first. Yeah, you may try. You go like, I kind of liked it, or it didn't feel like great. Maybe I won't be looking at myself. I'll look at the picture of, Arnold or Wonder Woman or something, and I do the same thing. So again, the idea is try new things, be flexible, and learn, grow, and contribute. Very easy.
Yeah. Fred, you're great. We're going to have a sequel. We're going to have a Fred,
You're
a Fred
very
and
kind.
Tovah, a Fred and
Thank you.
Tovah show.
Okay.
Okay. The Iranian and the Jew. a Fred and Tovah show. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so
Okay.
much. Bless
Thank you.
your
And
heart. It was a wonderful, wonderful show, and I am honored. Thank you so very much for sharing. Anybody need Fred? He's on Facebook. I'll be posting up his information. He's just a wonderful healer. He wrote 2 amazing books, and he is just full of insights and healing. And so thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for coming. The listeners were full. There was many listeners. It'll be on YouTube by tomorrow. All the best. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
And thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
1 second.